Welcome to football's Play to Win with Falcons All-Pro defensive end Chuck Smith, Falcons All-Pro offensive tackle Bob Whitfield, Falcons All-Pro wide receiver Terrence Mathis, and your host, Nikki Williams.
Welcome to football's Play to Win, week 3 of the NFL season, and we are lucky enough to have my crew of ex-NFL players, Atlanta Falcons legends Chuck Smith, Bob Whitfield, and Terrence Mathis. They kind of take us inside the mind of a player, what's going on out there, and let's be honest, what's really going on out there. There's been a lot of surprises already. Week 3, this always happens, but obviously this season is a little more bizarre than other seasons in the past, and I know there's a lot to wade through, but as far as surprises go, and Chuck, I'll start with you on this. What would you say the biggest surprise so far has been for you up until now, week 3 in the NFL?
The Vegas Raiders.
It's so hard.
I know, right? I'm so used to Oakland, but look, the Vegas Raiders, they're 2-0. Derek Carr is throwing the ball like he's an MVP candidate right now in NFL. The defense is fantastic. Jacobs at running back. And think about this. Isn't it ironic, guys? Remember a couple years ago, all the media out there killed John Gruden for trading Khalil Mack. They killed John Gruden for trading Amari Cooper. They beat up the Raiders. Mark Davis said they'll never be anything. Them same guys and gals that are on TV now showing love. Fake love, though. Because the bottom line, John Gruden made him eat crow. This Raiders team, and hold up, let me rewind. They also went and got Mike Mayock. They took him off the TV set. People killed the Raiders because you're going to make your GM a guy who was on TV, who's a GM on TV playing NFL. The Raiders, to me, are the biggest surprise. They got on every level. They're fantastic. Look at what they're doing. Kudos to John Gruden. And all that fake love out there now. But now I'm giving them real love, Nikki. To me, the Raiders right now, the Raiders that are back now are something special in Vegas. I love it.
They're not
Chuck,
bad.
it do be like that sometimes.
The Raiders are not bad. The biggest thing I like about the Raiders right now is that beautiful stadium that we got to see. You know, they're going to be the same old Raiders. Carr is playing well right now, but he's still who he is. And he's going to turn the ball over, and things are going to happen, and the defense is going to give up points, and they're going to be sitting where they sat last year, in the bottom of the division.
Yeah, because let me smash Chuck about that Raiders thing one more time. John Gruden, this is a team he has built, not inherited, and can take to a Super Bowl. So he's going to show his true essence of coaching greatness if he can take Derek Carr, whichever Carr he is, and the rest of those Raiders to at least can they win the division? Can they, Chuck, win the division? Actually, no, because who would they have to play in that division? Kansas City. And we know the Raiders are not built to handle Kansas City and that high-flying offensive attack. Who's going to cover that tight end in Kansas City? You swear by that defense of the Raiders because you've been out there firsthand. You've been trying to teach them something firsthand, Chuck. But look, you teach them how to take that L when it comes? You overhyped the Raiders, but I give it to you. You've seen them firsthand. They 2-0, but you overhyped them. They still got to get through that division, bub.
So much hate in the LBC. Nikki, so much hate in the LBC. It's hard being Chuck number 90. Dang.
But look, I'm going to take it like this.
Okay. All right. Just shoot us straight here, guys. Are any of you surprised about where the Falcons are right now? Or is this, I know somebody's going to jump through the screen and slap me. Same old Falcons?
Let me slap you first then. Look, I'm going to give the Falcons a little credit here. 0-2 start on some flukeness. Just some flukeness. You know, some onside kick, whatever. Hey, it happens. It happens. That first game, it happens. But what I can see is a team can go on a hot streak and actually win.
When did it happen?
Hot streak.
When have you seen a team get an onside kick in the NFL? When's the last? I'm gonna stop you right there. The Atlanta Falcons made a historical mistake, right? historical, man. And then it was 5 of them. So I'm gonna just give you the floor. You got the floor, Playboy.
No, I agree.
Tell me.
It was big.
Tell me.
He did it. I'm gonna let you finish, but
yeah, because I'm just saying the 0-2 consequence, being that it's so early in the season, if any team can recover that's built to recover, I'm saying it's the Falcons. I mean, they have shown they can also have demise in the second half of games, but they have the caliber of athletes to recover. Matt Ryan is a caliber of quarterback that can start 0-2 and rattle off 14 straight. Julio is that type of receiver. And even though they gave up 40 points to Dallas, that defense did get some turnovers. So they are that caliber of defense that can shut an offense down to win a game. So 0-2, as bad as it looked, Chuck. Monkey see, monkey do. I don't know, but they can bounce back from 0-2, bro.
You just probably played 2 playoff teams, 2 teams that potentially going to be in the playoffs this year, and you lose to them. And you lose to them in a way that you shouldn't have lost to them. But you got to understand this now. These are the type of teams that they're going to play in the playoffs later in the year. And can they overcome these mistakes that they started with at the beginning of the year? Well, let's not take away how good the Dallas Cowboys are and how good the Seattle Seahawks are. And speaking of the Seahawks, I think right now, Russell Wilson is the most underrated quarterback in the NFL today. All he does is win football games. Okay, he doesn't flash. It's not a whole lot of flash whatsoever. But at the end of the day, he gets the job done. I'd rather have a guy that's going to get the job done instead of turn the ball over. I don't need a Wild Wild West gunslinger. I want a guy that's going to manage the football game and win them for me.
Take us inside the locker room.
And is that Matt Ryan?
What's going on?
That's the question now. Since we're talking about the Falcons, is that Matt Ryan? Let me say this about Matt Ryan and Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan has been the franchise quarterback long enough where he can take ownership in this offense. And I know you have an offensive coordinator whatsoever, but Matt Ryan is that guy, probably a future Hall of Famer. And he needs to take control over what they do offensively. When he knows that he has to get on that phone and says, no, we can't do this. We got to keep putting our foot on the gas and and keep going after it and scoring points. He's that veteran guy, and he just has to. I think he just got to take control of that offense.
Company man, that's what he is.
What's going on with your morale as a player when you're at this point, when you're losing like this? What's going on with you guys in the locker room? What's your camaraderie like? How you put one foot in front of the other?
I'll tell you how. It's different on Monday than it is on Friday. Listen, on Monday after that game, Nicky, you are absolutely shell-shocked. When you lose like that, you got butterflies in your stomach. Look, the people in their meeting rooms talking about, man, damn, I can't believe we lost that game. Man, so the offensive players are looking like, damn, what else we need to do? We put up 39 points. Okay, then you got Tuesday. That's your day off. Then you stay hidden. You don't go nowhere. Tuesdays after you lose a game like the Falcons lost, you kind of chill. You order out. You don't be doing much. I'm just telling you, you don't go out in the community. Wednesday, you go to practice and you stay. So you're there all day. So it's good. You're in your own little bubble when you lose. You're in the loser's bubble, basically, where the Falcons are on a Wednesday. Then Thursday, you start feeling good because the media and all you've already did the media on Wednesday, then things are transitioning. On Friday, you like, yeah, okay. You feel a lot better about it and you feel comfortable going out because everybody's already ripped your ass and they already patting you on the back saying, go get them next week. So it's just a week thing. It's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then Saturday, it's all done. And so it's levels to when you have a historical loss and an embarrassing loss like our Atlanta Falcons. But these cats used to it. They done started 0-2, 0-8 too, so they don't need to talk.
You sound like a Craig David song.
I agree with you, Chuck. I agree with you, Chuck. On Wednesday, I'm looking at my teammates and seeing how they coming out to practice and what's their body language like. How are they going to approach that week? And then by Friday, I'm getting a kind of gauge on, okay, how are we doing? How are we feeling? How is the coaching staff treating us? And the body language of everybody and seeing if we're ready to play on Sunday or not. And then that's when you just pull guys to the side and say, hey, man, you're messing with my paycheck. You're messing with my living. You got to step it up. or we all gonna be gone.
So there's some blame game going on. Bob, I don't know
Well,
you
it's not
blame
a blame.
anybody
It's
ever.
not a blame game, Nikki. What it is just telling guys, I need you, I trust you, and we're in this thing together, and you just got to pull your weight. It's not a blame game. It's just letting a guy know that I'm watching you and I need you.
The glue gets
They used to call it a
thicker, but the
robbery.
microscope gets more magnified.
Yeah,
That's what it is, Nikki. It's what we used to call it a robbery. Is when you play bad and then you show up to work and try to collect your check like nothing happened. You're like, nah, you just robbed us, bro. And this is one of those things is that a 0-2 start for any team is going to make some people have to be accountable, because it's not accountability that the coach is saying, it's not accountability that the other player is saying, is that you see it in yourself on the tape. Did you work hard? Did you do the extra? And you're going to start looking at superstitious things and all that. And there's one superstitious thing I just want to throw in about the Falcons. And I hate to be superstitious, but as you can see, there's a lot of superstition going on around me because I keep my little stuff going. Same stuff since childhood, superstitions. Arthur Blank, I love you, Mr. B. I think you did a great job buying a team and doing all that good stuff. I think you built a heck of a stadium. And you renovated the first stadium, then you tore it down and built a new stadium, did all kinds of great stuff, built a park, all kind of, did everything right there. Good. But, bro, you the problem. Quit coming on the sideline when the game is not over. You're the jinx, man. This dude is the jinx. Every time he comes on the sideline, then all kind of bad stuff happens. He's the jinx, man. Arthur Blank, stay in the box, bro.
I've been saying that for years.
Oh my God. Well, I don't know if you guys have been as excited about this as I have been, but I was really pumped to see how Cam Newton played out over at the Patriots. And it looks like he's finally got his day. Do you guys think that Cam at the Patriots is literally a whole new ball game? Terrence, I'll start with you.
Oh, I see a different swag for the Patriots, man. Wow. You even got the coaches pounding him and talking to him, and they're smiling and having a good time. This is a playoff team. Of course, I believe they're gonna win the division again. And the thing is that he brought some swag. He looks stronger. He looks more consistent, more accurate in throwing the football. I like this Cam Newton in New England.
Chuck?
Man, Nikki, I'll tell you this.
Tell me this.
Cam Newton, the first thing I notice about Cam is his ability, his delivery when throwing the ball. I like that he's got some velocity on the ball. I think Cam Newton, everybody deserves a second opportunity. When you're a former MVP, you're going to get that opportunity. Everybody's going to be watching. And I think Cam Newton has done a great job of delivering the ball. He's doing a good job also of kind of putting Cam second and putting the New England Patriots first. He's celebrating, but he's also celebrating with his teammates. He got his chain snatched the other day, and he didn't go College Park on him like he said. I want to go College Park on you. So I just like where Cam's at, but I'll just tell you this. I don't like where the Patriots are at, though. The Patriots' offensive line is weak. Their wide receiver core is almost nothing. Cam doesn't have a lot, in my opinion, to work with. The running backs are all kind of gadget backs. So the defense is strong. So I think Cam's limitations aren't going to be Cam. I think the limitations start with the cast of characters that he has around him, Bob.
He has been bamboozled, led astray, run amok. They have took Cam to destroy him up in New England. Why are you calling quarterback power to score to win a game as if you don't have a power running back? Why is Cam Newton having to carry the ball when he can throw like a laser 70 yards down the field? You wouldn't ask Tom Brady to do that crap. So
Tom Brady can't run.
So the idea is that you're taking advantage of Cam. You're trying to destroy his body when the best thing about him is not his legs. It's actually his arm and reading those defenses and throwing lightning passes. So when you're getting 390 yards in throwing, we don't need to see Cam running power attack like we in some old wing T USC offense. No, bruh. And they only gonna put him on like some 1-year grab deal and do this kind of crap. Oh, Josh McDaniels. Hey, Josh McDaniels, let's look into having a black quarterback that could run. Oh, really? Up in New England? Yeah. And now you can be the greatest offensive coordinator ever, Josh McDaniels. No, bruh. No, bruh. I love Cam that you just did it just begrudgingly. But, man, they taking advantage of your talent, bruh. Taking advantage of it.
Are they taking advantage of his talent, or did they figure out that, hey, we got this Maserati, we want to see how to get it past second gear? I mean, my opinion with Cam was that the Panthers never brought out his true abilities and true talent. So I never looked at it as though the Patriots were taking advantage of him. I thought they were trying to take him to the next level.
The Panthers was running option. And how does a quarterback lose his throwing capabilities is when you have to take shots to the shoulders because you have to run for 6 and 7 yards on called run plays. When you have to actually be a defender, because one of the things we remember about Cam when he got the MVP year is that because Cam was so big and strong, the referees, and they were just letting people tee off on Cam. Oh, if you don't slide like a regular quarterback, just go ahead and tee off on Cam. And what I see is that it's an exploitation of overall talent. But
interesting.
Hey, he got arm strength talent that he can run with.
I agree to you to a certain point, but at the end of the day, Cam got to accept that. They may be taking advantage of him, but he's going to have to accept. He can say, no, I don't want to do this if he wants to or not. I know he's on a 1-year deal and he's trying to prove that he deserves a long-term deal. But at the end of the day, he can say, hey, bro, I've taken a number of hits over the years. Some of this stuff I cannot do.
Switching gears just a little bit, because as of right now, we've got, I think it's 10 teams that are 0-2 at this point in the season. So looking at some of those teams that are 0-2 that still have a lot of potential and a lot of enthusiasm behind them, which of those teams would you guys say do that for you? Chuck?
I'd start out with Minnesota right off the bat. Kirk Cousins, I think he's capable at quarterback, but what really stands out to be Minnesota is the defense. They got Yannick Ngakoue, got him from Jacksonville. I just really like the way this team is built, and to me, their 0-2 is a little different than the other guys. I'm really a big fan of Minnesota and what they're doing up there, but 0-2 doesn't look good, but that is a team, for me, that stands out, Nikki.
All right, Bob?
Mine is Cincinnati Bengals. They're 0-2, but you got a rookie quarterback's holding it down the fort, and I think their level of excitement is going to build around that franchise. And no, I don't think they're going to win a game at all. But I think the excitement is going to build. So when you go 0-16, but with that much excitement, with that much hype around you, it's not going to be that bad of a 0-16 year.
0-16.
Go Bengals.
They're not going 0-16.
Go Bengals.
They're not going 0-16.
Terrence,
Bob.
do you have any teams up your sleeve that won't go 0-16 that you want to talk about?
The Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles, they can go 0-8 and win 8 in a row and probably still win the division because that's how bad that division is. So they're sitting there going, hey, we can get on the road, get back to being 2-2. We right in the thick of things because we know that division is probably at best 500 football. So I think the Philadelphia Eagles can make a run towards the end of the year.
What do we think about the Arizona Cardinals right now?
Ooh. Oh, my goodness.
I think they're off to a great start.
Oh, boy. Oh, my goodness.
I love it. I love it.
You talking about Air Raid, DeAndre Hopkins? Oh, my goodness. I wouldn't want to play them right now.
Kyler Murray is a jitterbug back there moving in the pocket at quarterback. What an incredible pick. I tell you, they made making that decision, getting rid of Josh Rosen, who was an also former #1 pick out of UCLA, and going and getting him out of Oklahoma. Listen, this team right now is fantastic. I love, you look at Larry Fitzgerald at wide receiver. Look at the whole complimentary stat people they put around him. They're running the ball. They got Chandler Jones on defense. Arizona is good. And let me tell you how good Arizona is. And let me tell you why I know. I'm old, right? I'm 50 years old, but I'm from the throwback old school Madden era for everybody that's watching, the dads that still play Madden. I've been using Arizona Ooh, and I am kicking my 15-year-olds, but they're good in real life, and they made them real good in Madden, y'all. They're real good.
They must have gave him a
They got it.
99 or something. But yeah, definitely, I think Arizona shocked a few people. Not just because they're real good in Madden. I think they're real good with all the youngsters. With a few veteran players like Larry Fitzgerald out there. But you got a bunch of youngsters, a young head coach, young quarterback, and some young stars out there. And then when the youngsters show up, usually they need fans. They need yelling and screaming. But when you show up to empty stadiums and run amok, no need to celebrate. You could just celebrate with them wins, being 2-0. So Arizona is definitely one of those teams, and I think you have a lot of young quarterbacks that are really pushing the narrative here. And what you see in Kyler Murray is he's running, he's getting out there. What you see with Baltimore, what you even see with Mahomes, is that you see a dynamic new quarterbacking. It's no more Ben Roethlisberger, even though they're winning. But that quarterback is the day of old. Sit back in the pocket. We like the new version, the Michael Vick experience. We want quarterbacks to run, throw, sidearm, do all kind of magnificent stuff. So we got a bunch to watch in the NFL this year.
When we love to see those magnificent things happen, Monday Night Football. What are y'all most excited about for Monday Night Football right now, or nervous about?
Well, Kansas City, I think Kansas City fell asleep a little bit against the Chargers in week 2. Looking past the Chargers, getting ready for this Monday night game. I think this game is one that both quarterbacks have been looking forward to. But I think the Baltimore Ravens is built for this. I think they're a little upset about the way they performed last year in the playoffs. I think this is going to be a very, very good game, interesting game. I don't know if they're going to have they figured out Mahomes yet, but you got enough talent in Lamar Jackson to get things done.
We're going to have a show, Chuck?
Yeah, here we go. This is what I want to see. Let me move this out here. A guide to
a trick door?
Success. Yep, I got a trick door, Nick. You got a little everything going
see
up
that,
in here.
Chuck.
You got a little gadget room. So look, I even picked up the football.
It.
You can't see that? A guide to pass rush success? You can't see
that?
It
literally says a guide
we see that.
Welcome to the virtual world.
Yeah, Bob, they can. Well, anyway, it says a guide to pass rush success. What I want to see versus Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, I want to see somebody tap, 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 tap them. What's that new song? Tap, tap, tap. I want to see somebody tap, tap on their butts, man. I want to see some pass rushers, some defenders, like I was for 9 years in the NFL. I want to see how they react when they get hit. You've really never seen teams tap, tap, tap them dudes out, man. So really, I want to see it. I'm really looking for that. I'm sort of kind of feeling a little some kind of way because you never see these guys get into a slobber knocker kind of game. I want to see how Lamar Jackson handles it when he gets his head knocked around. I want to see Patrick Mahomes. So I'm going for both teams in this game.
Chuck,
but I'm going to pass
like
versus
this,
the
bro. I know what you're saying about you want to see that type of physical action. But what you also notice is that when you have a COVID-19 type of season in 2020, when young guys don't get training camp, old veteran guys had to wait longer to get into camp. I said, what you saw is not enough action. It's not enough wallop, and then injuries and guys falling down. It says, look, the speed guys, the fast guys will prevail. Those fast quarterbacks will prevail right now because I don't think the teams are up to speed to them. But as they catch up, because I don't feel that everybody's in true game speed, game shape, as they catch up, maybe you'll see some big hits. But right now, speed on offense prevails. Kyler Murray running through defenses right now. As soon as they get in shape about 4 more weeks, hey, it might be a different thing.
It's about to get nasty down in the bayou, though. What do you guys think about Green Bay at New Orleans and the Aarons?
Well, Aaron Rodgers is playing with a chip on his shoulders, as I said earlier. Is that he's upset? They picked the quarterback from Utah State or something like that, Nevada, and he was upset about that. And he's playing like he's 10, 15 years younger. And he's trying to prove to that organization that I am the guy and I'm going to be the guy until I'm ready to walk away. New Orleans, I'm done. I'm done with them. I mean, we've seen enough of them. It's time for them to move on. Get out of the
Already?
way. Yeah,
You done
get out
That
the
was
already?
way.
quick.
I don't
Like
even
2
like
games.
watching them. I don't even like watching them anymore.
You just mad at him?
No, I'm not
Tell
mad
us
at
why
them.
you're
It's
really
just,
mad, son.
it's just like one of the, they're like the Boston Celtics of old when you say, "Ah, dog, not them again." You know, that's the way I feel about the Saints right now.
Bob, you salty
Drew,
on the Saints?
Well, I can understand the sentiment. It's almost like a Drew Brees overload. Drew Brees get the accolades. We starting to see Drew Brees getting all the records broken, whatever. But then it's almost like, man, Drew Brees, you really only got that one Super Bowl win, I think. And after that, you've been getting smoked in the playoffs. So it's almost like we looking at Drew Brees, similar to, Tony Romo, but Tony Romo never got the win, but he always got smoked in the playoffs. So you build us up, Drew Brees, but then you let everybody down. And I think in the Bayou, they're not putting bags over their heads, but they're starting to recognize that as invincible that offense was, it's not the same invincibility anymore.
Rams at Buffalo. Chuck?
Woo, I'm going to tell you this right now. I love me some Buffalo. Listen, Josh Allen at quarterback, this team has been dynamic. You look at the defense. I mean, they've been getting after it. But look, there's no team more deserving in the championship than the Buffalo Bills, right? I mean, you look at their history. When we played when we played back in the 90s, the Buffalo Bills had some of the best teams of all time, but no one ever recognized that because the Cowboys and teams like that stole their greatness and beat them in Super Bowls. But this Buffalo team, because they play in the AFC East, you got the Jets, you got the Dolphins. This is the team that could end up winning that division and having an opportunity to have a bye when it comes into the playoffs and going very far. To me, this team is fantastic. I love Buffalo, but I like the Rams too. But Buffalo, I think the weak conference that they're in is going to help them. But I love me some Josh Allen, man. Watch out for him for some MVP talk towards the end of the year at quarterback.
Terrence, you on the Allen train?
Well, I no. Well, yeah, I am because let me tell you this.
Buffalo
is one of those teams, I had to think about it a little bit. Buffalo is one of those teams that are built for the long haul. They got great defense. They're physical on offense. I know I'm a wide receiver whatsoever, but they're very physical. They're talented on the perimeter whatsoever. And you look at the Rams, I still think they're mad or upset or even still punch drunk from that Super Bowl loss.
Well, I know this. I'm going to tell you this to Chuck, bruh.
They must have been drunk as hell because that was 2 years ago.
They
drunk as hell, Terrence.
I know who's not drunk, and you over there clouding Buffalo, but you know what's about to happen. And you want to see some old school football? What you about to see from Aaron Donald rushing the passer to a definitely statuesque quarterback in Allen from Buffalo is probably going to be some of the gnarliest hits on the QB that's going to be legal. That it's going to be old school football with that pass rush of the Rams. And I think the Rams, as much as you want to say they got the nice brand new stadium and all that, how they're going to define themselves is going to be with defense. They got the bells and whistles on offense. They got the cups and they got the woods and all that, but they're going to define themselves on defense, and you're about to see a ferocious pass rush against Buffalo Bills, and I don't see how they can defend against that.
It's been a really obviously strange offseason. And now as we look at some of these injuries and just talk about the human body in general, do we think that there's been any sacrifice made on your body, for the lack of preseason and the reps and just kind of like jumping in the way everybody did, McCaffrey and his ankle, Saquon Barkley? I mean, do you attribute any of this to the bizarre offseason that we've had, Chuck?
I'll say yes and no. First, I'll say yes because it's never happened this many injuries this fast from what they're saying, according to their analytics. Bob's not a stat guy, nor am I on analytics. But I'll say, yeah, just from that standpoint, because those analytics, I guess they do speak. But I'll say from the standpoint of no. as an NFL player who tore his ACL, like a lot of the guys, man, there are guys that tore their ACLs when they were training before they even went to camp. There are guys that are going to get hurt after, in 4 or 5 more games. But I think it's easy to say that because of their lack of being in camp. Listen, I train over 50 NFL players. These cats are jumping, they bouncing, they're lifting, they're twisting, they're shuffling, they're in the parks, they're working out with multiple trainers, they're doing hills, they're doing high performance training. And the bottom line is injuries just happen. So when you watch what happened to Saquon Barkley, let's give a great example from the New York Giants running back. Saquon put his plant foot down and there were people tackling him. That wasn't something that had anything to do with training. That had to do with the wrong timing, the weight that was put on it, the force times that was generated and taking them to the ground. So when you look at certain injuries, those injuries are just part of football. So that's just my opinion. I think it's a yes and a no. What do you guys think?
I just love that you've got all the credibility you need with those 1901 VHS tapes next to your head.
You ain't no good. Don't be hating on my tapes. Don't be hating on the tapes.
Tapes up there. Bob, sorry, I cut you off. What were you saying?
No, I think Chuck is right. And I think one of the things that you realize is that physical games require physical nature so that, natural injuries and all that, the knees and all that. One of the things that I say you prepare for by having physical practice is those head injuries, those neck injuries, those shoulders. So I think missing a little bit of contact early on doesn't condition guys to play. However, we all were under the same circumstances as players, so we understand that, hey, that's just to my advantage. So a team losing for injury, team going down injury means the next man up theory, and the next man up has a chance to shine. So, bye-bye McCaffrey, next man up.
I think it's so valuable to be able to sit here with you guys and actually have a real conversation about what goes on with each of you as you're a player going through all of these scenarios. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Football's Play to Win and our crew of experts that take you a little deeper inside the game. We'll see you all next week.